Hey there, it's Mike McGuire here, part of the Celebrate Wrestling podcast family. Thank you for checking this out. A quick preview of this weekend's Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Mayhem events that are taking place in Windsor, Ontario, today and tomorrow being March 14th and 15th, 2025. Really fascinating card here. Now, this is going to be their second weekend of events that are going to stream on Triller TV, and you can find out all the details on MLPWrestling.com. I do want to state this is not a paid advertisement or anything like that. There's no consideration here. I did reach out to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling and hoping to talk with them a little more in the future here. Originally, we were going to have Ravenous Rohan Raja on the show. Unfortunately, timing, because they're working hard to promote this event, timing didn't allow for that, but they are touring all over Windsor over the last couple days here. And if you follow Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, you can see they're doing what they can to get the word out, get the tickets sold, get these things looking great. And honestly, the card itself is fantastic. So many great matches here. A lot of these performers going to be doing a double duty over the weekend here, and we're going to list some of the matches here that have been announced for night one. Night two, we know some of the matches are pending, and then others have been announced, but really, there's some amazing things set up here, and a lot of great Canadian talents from across the country. Several I've worked with in different promotions over the years, or several I know or have seen, and so I'm going to offer some of my thoughts there on those as well. But if you have any thoughts, please join the Celebrate Wrestling Facebook page and leave a comment under the post for this podcast here, because we love talking about wrestling, and this is going to be something where, again, it's new, it's unique, and personally, I'm really excited to see a lot of these people get a platform here. So let's talk about, first of all, one of the big things coming up, and that is the Maple Leaf Pro Women's Canadian Championship Tournament. So they're going to be crowning their first women's champion. They have quarterfinals that are going on tonight, and then tomorrow, the semis. Now on Sunday, May the 11th, is when we'll find out who the new champion will be. But the quarterfinals kick off tonight, and then on night two, we get into the semifinals. Lots of great action here. Go through some of the ladies here that are involved in this. Out of Edmonton, Alberta, Zoe Sager, who is fantastic. Amazing performer. We found out she was the first WWE ID signee for Canada, which, of course, is that independent wrestling program brought in by the Triple H era, and it could be her night. It could be her weekend as far as it goes. She's going against Kylie Ray, who, of course, no stranger to wrestling fans. We move over to the other side of the semifinals, or the quarterfinals, I guess. Lainey Luck taking on the quintessential Giselle Shaw. So lots of star power just in these quarterfinal matches between these women. And then again, it moves on to night two. I wouldn't mind seeing Zoe Sager taking on Giselle Shaw, or Lainey Luck taking on Kylie Ray, or any other mixture of what could happen here. These are all great talents here, and whoever's going to be the first Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, that's going to be pretty cool. They've also added an NWA World Championship match to night one. Tom Latimer, the current NWA World Champion, defending his title against Bishop Dyer, the former Baron Corbin. Tom Peastock is out, and he is doing what he can to get noticed, get titles, get contenderships. And really, we saw a motivated and changed Baron Corbin / Bishop Dyer towards the end of his run in WWE. It was great to see him kind of evolve and really find his way. Unfortunately, WWE had other plans, so they moved on without renewing his contract, and we just move on to see what comes next. So expect something special, I think, between these two guys. I mean, the NWA Championship is on the line. That always means something. I don't care if you're that familiar with the talents or not. That's always worth watching. Another title match. This is pretty cool. The Jericho Cruise Oceanic Championship, won by Mo Jabari. Know Mo very well, of course, from my time in Dungeon Wrestling and watching him grow through the years as well. I mean, it was not that long ago. He was the guy driving Cody Rhodes around from indie show to indie show in the prairies, and Mo has gone on to do some great things. Of course, a lot has been said about Mo being the protege of Bret the Hitman Hart, but there's more to this match than just that. This Oceanic Championship, you can say, well, he's going to come in, he's not going to lose it because obviously he's going to keep it for the cruise. But honestly, you never know. Anything can happen on these shows, especially when he's in a 6-man scramble. You've got Ishimori, Stu Grayson, Brent Banks, Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and Rich Swann. So out of these people who I know very well, I can say Michael Allen, Richard Clark is probably top of my list. And I've known him for a long, long time. I remember this guy when he was the skinny kid working high-impact wrestling shows in Regina, Saskatchewan. He was doing the Orange Crush gimmick. And to see what he has become and the work that he has put in is going to be incredible. He also has a match on night 2 against PCO, which is ridiculous. I was talking to PCO before the show. He's excited for this weekend as well. And just seeing two guys who I have nothing but the utmost respect for do what they do there. And then same with Mo in this match. Like, you know, Mo and Clark know each other real well. Now, you throw in a guy like Rich Swann. You throw in a guy like Brent Banks and Stu Grayson, Ishimori. Like, these are all wild cards. So, again, Mo has a lot running against him. A lot running against him in this from a storyline, from a match standpoint. And having that championship on the line makes it just a little more interesting as well. So looking forward to see what happens. And I'm not usually a huge fan of the 6-man scrambles, but there's a ton of great things going on here. So let's stick with night 1 here for a second here as we have an 8-man tag team match. Billy Gunn is going to be a part of this as the Gunn Show takes on the Champions Grail Defenders. That's what they're calling the teams here. So you've got Billy Gunn, Mike Rollins, El Reverso, and Shupinder Gujar taking on Ravenous Rohan Raja, Raj Singh, Rohit Raju, and Johnny Swinger. Great group of heels, great group of baby faces in this. I mean, Johnny Swinger, the fact that Johnny Swinger is still going, that always just, wow, blows me away here. Rohan, of course, we've talked to on this show before. He's been hustling, working hard out there. Raj Singh out of Calgary, of course, no stranger to a lot of folks. Spent a lot of time with TNA as well. And then you have Rohit Raju, who is going to be, I think, a dynamic player in this match. On the babyface side, Billy Gunn. I mean, what do you got to say about that at all? Mike Rollins. I've seen Mike Rollins before, so I don't know what else to say about him right now. El Reverso, I'm looking forward to actually seeing in this match. And Bhupinder Gujar, of course, making a name for himself as well. So, I mean, this is going to be a really fun 8-man as well. And I love that despite having a ton of talent on here, they're not doing too many scrambly matches. They're making tag teams. They're making things that make sense here. So we keep going on night number 1 with a great match here. This is going to be Kiyomiya against Sheldon Jean. Now, Sheldon Jean is well known in Ontario especially. Been making a name for himself. Great style, great physique. He's got everything going on here. I don't know much about Kiyomiya, so I'm looking forward to seeing what these two have to offer for us. And, of course, night 1 continues with the Intergalactic Jet Setters teaming up together. It is the one and only Kushida and Kevin Knight taking on QT Marshall and Blake Christian. QT gets a lot of crap from a lot of people. I think the guy is fantastic. I think that he's done everything you could expect from a wrestler, from a coach, from a contributor, to a guy that just, does everything he can to try and make not only himself, but the people he works with and the people that he supports look really good. I mean, look at the people that have been around him. Am I saying he's the greatest guy ever? I don't know. I look forward to one day maybe chatting with him, talking about it, but I think you're going to be surprised in what happens between the Jet Setters and QT and Blake. So, again, night 1 is just stacking up already to be a pretty special thing here. If you need more details, again, MLPWrestling.com is where you go. Some of the feature matches for night 2 I want to go over really quick. Our friend Rohan Raja going to be defending his Champions Grail. We talked all about that belt right here on McGuire on Wrestling and on the Celebrate Wrestling Podcast Network, where this championship has so much history in it already, and it is being defended against a guy who is no slouch in Rich Swann. Rich Swann, of course, last time maybe a lot of fans saw him was during the 205 Live era and the Cruiserweight era of WWE, but Rich Swann has a huge huge resume, all the credentials in the world, and could be a pretty strong contender for that Champions Grail. But then again, as we know with our friend Rohan, he's not quick to count himself out, and I don't think we should be either here. The Kingdom will be taking on the Intergalactic Jet Setters for night 2, so Jet Setters getting 2 nights of action. The Kingdom of Mike Bennett and Matt Taven still working hard, 3-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and we'll see what happens for those guys as well. Again, the amount of talent, the amount of stacked resumes on this show is just incredible. Night 2, we also see Tom Latimer and Matt Cardona teaming up against Bishop Dyer and Billy Gunn. So some big names, some big bodies in there. And again, names we all know. Latimer, probably, actually in this case, probably the least familiar to a lot of fans out there. But the NWA World Champion, if he still is after night 1 tonight, could be making a name for himself in this tag match with some legends and some very well-known indie figures. Mike Bennett is in action in night 1 as well, I should say. He's got a match against Alex Zane, so he's working hard. And then as we mentioned before, Michael Allen Richard Clark going to be facing PCO on Saturday for night 2. French-Canadian Frankenstein taking on the guy with the longest name in professional wrestling, and as he would say, among other things. So there's lots to see on these shows here. It's going to be an incredible couple nights, and the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling thing has been just wild to see since they started with Forged in Excellence, and now returning to Windsor for this incredible pair of shows here. Also on night 2, and again, I don't know much about all 3 of these guys here, but Ishimori, Kiyomiya, and Alex Zane all going to be facing off in a triple threat as well. So it's just wild to me how much talent they have booked on these shows. There's more matches too, by the way, I should say, on the pre-show. Serena Deeb is going to be facing Aurora Tevis, who's a fantastic talent as well. I've seen Aurora in Dungeon Wrestling. She came kind of out of nowhere, unfamiliar to a lot of fans, but man, she really good, and so much more. But if you want to check it out, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, again on Triller, and this is all about supporting pro wrestling. This is what we like to do. If you got any shows you would like featured and talked about, hey, like I said, join the Celebrate Wrestling Facebook page. We'd love to have you there. But our absolute best wishes going out to the folks tonight at MLPW's Mayhem. Tonight, tomorrow, Windsor, Ontario, St. Clair College. I think they might have a couple tickets left, but you want to be a part of this thing. And, of course, they're getting ready for more action this May as well. This has been a very quick, very informal preview. I hope you enjoyed it. But thank you for checking out the Celebrate Wrestling podcast feed, and we'll talk to you again this weekend. Till then, thanks for listening. Let me do what I do. Play safe, drive safe. I'll be seeing ya.